Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm very pleased to be joined by a dear friend, Jagjit Singh Sohal of Monarch Commercial. Jagjit, who's been with the Sikh channel from the very outset, a great supporter of our team and our broadcast, and also serving the wider community for many years. Jagjit, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to see that the channel has progressed tremendously, and you're nearly getting to your 10 years, and the channel seems to be getting popular all the time.
Thank you very much, and it is hard work, but it's very much a teamwork, and you've been a great supporter of ours from day one, so thank you.
It was always your vision that carried it away, and at the time when you started it, there was no one else doing it, and I'm so pleased to see that it's been a great success.
Thank you. Jagjit, can you perhaps tell us a little bit about yourself? Some of the viewers may not be familiar with you. Perhaps your family background. Where were you born and where are your family from originally?
We're originally from Kenya. Father left India about 10 years before independence. He was in Kenya in 1937. He started off with a small business, which eventually grew into a fairly successful building and construction business. And I was born in Nairobi.
That's tremendous. And when did you move to the UK?
I moved to the UK in 1972, when we had the choice to see whether we wanted to stay back in Kenya, or as we were British subjects by birth, we were given the option to either stay or move over to the UK. And so I decided to come over in 1972.
And have you kept any connection to Kenya? Any family still there?
Yes, we have very, not immediate family, however, we very close ties with lots of other friends of mine who are extremely successful businesses, etc. And they're also, we remain in touch because of our association with some of the charity work that we do in that part of the world.
That's great. And when you came here, it's a new start for you in the UK. Did you have to struggle? Was it a difficult time for you?
To be fair, it was reasonably okay, because I only worked for someone for a couple of years and then started my own business, which was in the early 74, 75, and I started off initially with a motor trade business, which I grew into, and I still own a number of those businesses. And then I gradually moved into real estate, which has been my passion, and started off in real estate around 40 years ago.
That's tremendous. And of course, I know you very well from Monarch Commercial. It's a very big property enterprise with both residential and commercial property. Can you tell us a little bit about Monarch Commercial? Where is the company today?
Monarch today is a reasonably successful company because it specializes in fairly large commercial property as well as residential. Our forte is investments plus developments, and we work with a very large number of high net worth clients who have been our backbone since the last 15-20 years that we've been going.
So it's very much founded on relationships and serving and looking after your clients very well, and they've stayed with you for a number of years.
Absolutely, and the clients we have actually grown with us. Some of them started at a fairly low level and who have now grown to be extremely successful in what they do. Hence, we've stuck to the West London area. However, we work all over UK.
That's tremendous. And looking forward, going ahead with the future of the business, your son is now involved in the company, And are you taking a lesser role?
Well, the company, I remain fairly active in the company because a lot of the clients are extremely loyal and faithful to me. My son, who did his master's in real estate and development, now joined the team about 5 years ago. Hence, he's extremely active and controlling most of the business. However, I remain in touch with our loyal clients to ensure that they're well looked after.
Obviously, you've got the relationships and the people that want you because you know their business better. And property the market can be up and down. And what highs and lows have you experienced at Monarch? And business can be up and down. How did you cope with the property crashes?
Well, in the last 40 years that I've been involved with real estate, I've seen about 4 recessions within that period. And what seems to happen is that as long as you've got your client base, which we look after, are extremely strong and cash rich, it is always better to catch up on opportunities in the recession. A recession can be a fairly lucrative time as well.
That's right. There is opportunity in the downturn.
More opportunity in the downturn. Yes. Like right now, Brexit is the talk of the town at the moment, yes. And it's the real estate market which is also watching the whole thing. However, UK still remains to be a fairly popular destination for real estate. So there is a slight downturn in the market. However, it's still fairly strong.
That's great. And what advice would you give to anybody who's starting out, any younger people? Because property has always been a good business, and the Sikh community and the wider community are very active, and many people like to get involved in property. Do you think a lot of people have missed the boat? Is it too late? Is it very hard now? Because property prices are very high, it's a mature market. Was there still opportunity for people to get involved?
I would say yes, because London, for argument's sake, is where the property prices have gone up quite a bit. However, anyone starting should try and look at opportunities in places like up north, and especially in the Midlands. Midlands is now coming up extremely well. Birmingham, especially Manchester, all these areas are catching up with London, and that is because there's been a lot of development within the last 5 to 7 years in these areas. Hence, there's always opportunities.
That's tremendous. And anybody who's starting out, what advice would you give to them in the property business? What advice would you give from your considerable experience?
Always try and do. When you're getting into the property market, please ensure that you do get in where you physically are nearby and look at the area where you, say for argument, if you live in Birmingham, try and start off locally because you can keep things in control. Try and start small, be fairly cautious, and most important, do not overstretch yourself. Try and keep within your limits that you can handle.
That's great. That's great advice. Thank you. As well as being a very successful entrepreneur, you're also very active in the community and with community service, and your faith has been a very big part of your life. And where does that come from? Is that from your parents? Were they very close to the Gurdwara and to service?
Yes, my dad was always a very religious person, and we always have worked on his footsteps, and have always sort of try and remain within our faith. And most important of all, charity has always been one of our areas that we always ensured and wanted to contribute. And in my case, because of my experience in the real estate market, I've been extremely lucky to work with some of the most successful Sikh organisations in the UK, and I've always been available for any charity work that needs to be done.
You've also helped a number of organisations. Just an example which I saw recently, Ealing Gurdwara, you helped them to acquire their site, and your property expertise was very useful. And how important has it been for you to get involved in community work, and has that benefited you? Has that helped you? Do you think that's part of your success, why you're successful?
I think I definitely feel that has been the case, because where necessary I've worked with a number of other organisations, Niskam Sevak Jatha, I worked with Sigurd Singh Sabha in Southall, Ealing Gurdwara, and I have always been very happy to contribute where necessary. And I must say, yes, that definitely has been a great achievement for me, because hence I'm being successful in my own business.
That's right. And looking forward, because you've achieved so much in your life, what if this year, 2019, is a very important year for the Sikhs community worldwide. What personal goals or targets do you have yourself that you want to achieve, personal or in the business?
Personally, want to try and help within the Sikh community as much as I can. As I said, I'm working closely with a number of organisations. Hence, I'm going to contribute as much as I can with the community. Not forgetting, this year is the 550th anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So we want to make sure that this year we all contribute as much as we can towards the celebration of this big occasion. Hopefully there's going to be a lot happening in the UK, which the Sikh channel is definitely going to be following. However, there's also extremely big plans in India and in Pakistan. So at least this year is an extremely important year for the Sikh community.
That's right, absolutely. And in terms of the message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, it's 550 years birth anniversary Gurpur this year. And what do you feel about that message? How relevant and important is it in today's society?
It's extremely important, because Guru Nanak was all about charity, Sarbat da Pala, which means and all human beings being one. And I think Guru Nanak started that 550 years ago, and the West is actually now started talking about human rights, rights for women, rights for socialism, and the message of one Kishako, which, as we all know, we started 550 years ago. Not forgetting the concept of langar, which today every community is trying to follow. However, it's something which Guru Nanak started and has been an extremely successful message of humility, where people from all kinds of race, caste and religion can come and try and, when needed, come and feed themselves.
Absolutely. The langar that Guru Nanak Dev Ji started is still flourishing and feeding hundreds of thousands of people every day. And we've seen a lot of the youngsters now, particularly in the UK, the Langar Seva societies are going out in the town centres, feeding the homeless. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's incredible. I think the message across that goes to show the message of Guru Nanak, and I'm so pleased to see the youngsters following that message. And not only are we doing it all over the UK, the same concept is being followed in Canada, in Australia, as well as various other parts of Europe. So I think it's an extremely good thing for the image of the Sikh community.
And Jagjit, as you pointed out earlier on, it's also the 10 years of Sikh Channel, and you've been a close follower of Sikh Channel over the last 10 years, and you've also supported us when possible. What advice would you give to the Sikh Channel team looking ahead to the next 10 years? How can we continue to reach our community and perhaps even non-Sikhs as well?
The goal for the Sikh channel has got to be has to be to grow as much as it can, and ensure that it targets the international community. It's been a huge success story in the UK, and I would like to see a lot more programs which are targeting the youngsters, etc., as well as various aspects of education and hospitality, etc.
Thank you very much. And in terms of mentoring, in terms of business mentoring, helping young people coming through or new businesses, what's your view about mentoring? How important is it, people like yourself in senior roles with expertise, experience, how important it is to mentor younger people, particularly in our own community, to succeed?
It's extremely important, and whenever required, we are always open to any youngster who needs any sort of advice, especially when they're getting into any particular venture. It's always good to try and speak to people who are already successful. In our case, we're open to anyone who'd like to, would want any advice. They're always welcome.
That's very kind. Thank you very much. And Jagjit Singh Sohal, you've kindly given your valuable time today to the Sikh Channel team. What is your final message that you'd like to give to the Sikh Channel viewers worldwide, particularly on this special year, 2019, of the 550 years Gurpurab, birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji? What is your message, or what words would you like to share?
I'd like the Sikh community to follow and the principles of Guru Nanak, which are virtually the best, I would think, and if one follows his message and the teachings of Guru Nanak, you can never go wrong.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's Jagjit Singh Sohal, who has been a community Sevadar for many decades, working with many different organisations, Gurdwara, and also with Sikh Channel. And we're very pleased to have his advices and his suggestions today for everybody who's watching in terms of starting any property enterprise, and also how to live your life following the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji of the Sikh faith. Thank you very much, Jagjit, for joining us, and we hope to see you more often on Sikh Channel. I was saying when we met earlier today, we've had a long absence. We've both been very busy. I've been travelling a lot for Sikh Channel and involved in our new programming schedule for the next few years. And obviously you're very busy, but please do keep in touch. We'd like to see you more often on the Sikh Channel.
It's always a pleasure to contribute. As I said earlier on, the Sikh Channel was a pioneer of going into the media sector, which was desperately needed, and I'm extremely glad to see that it's lasted 10 years, and I hope that it's going to grow for another 50 years, and I wish you, the Sikh Channel, success all the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jagjit. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.